Think you know everything about Lando Norris? Well, the life of this young driver is far more fascinating than you might imagine. Let's dive deep into 10 surprising facts about Lando, ranging from his bold decision to drop out of school to his surprising loyalty to McLaren. And what would you do if you had the chance to grow up alongside the biggest names in Formula One, like Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso? You might think Norris's story is just another one among many, but wait until you find out how he turned down tempting offers from giants like Red Bull and Mercedes. Yes, you heard that right. And there's more. His passion for luxury cars, his courage to start an esports team, and even his admiration for the legendary Valentino Rossi. Stick with me because what follows will completely change your perception of this racing prodigy. Career from childhood. From a young age, Lando Norris showed that his destiny was on the track. At 7 years old, while many kids are still learning to ride a bike, Lando was already mastering go-karts with an unusual skill for his age. He didn't just have talent. He had a burning passion for speed that set him apart. Imagine being a gearhead in childhood and seeing such a young kid tearing up the tracks with such skill. It would be like watching a prodigy in action. This dedication from an early age is an example of how a love for something can guide our lives in surprising directions. It's interesting to note that even as a child, Lando wasn't content with just competing. He wanted to win, dominate the tracks, and learn every curve and every detail. That's what made him an exceptionally competitive driver from the start. He dove deep into the racing world like a true gearhead, learning from every defeat and celebrating every victory, no matter how small. This kind of mentality is something anyone can apply to their own life. If you're starting in any field, learn from mistakes, celebrate the small successes, and above all, never lose the passion for what you do. Lando's talent, combined with his passion and determination, turned every race into a life lesson. He learned to be resilient, to get up after every fall, literally. And that's what kept him going throughout his career, even when things weren't going well. This is a lesson for all of us. Life will throw challenges at you, but like a true gearhead, you can always find the next curve, the next challenge, the next obstacle to overcome. And who knows, this might just be the beginning of an even more exciting journey. Youngest world karting champion. Lando Norris didn't just show talent from an early age but also broke impressive barriers in motorsport. He became the youngest world karting champion, a feat that left many gearheads speechless. Imagine a teenager outshining experienced competitors with years of experience. It's like watching a young racing prodigy defying the odds and proving that with determination and skill, even the wildest dreams are possible. This title wasn't just a trophy for Norris. It was a confirmation that he was destined for something greater on the tracks. But how does someone so young achieve such a grand feat? The answer lies in a combination of natural talent and a work ethic that few his age possess. Lando trained relentlessly, perfecting every move, every strategy. He studied his opponents, learned from mistakes, and always sought to improve. For anyone who wants to follow the path of a true gearhead, this is an important lesson. Talent alone isn't enough. You need to work hard, study, practice, and never be satisfied with what you've already achieved. Norris's success in karting is a testament to how dedication can take you to unimaginable heights. And this achievement was just the beginning. The World Karting Championship opened doors he never imagined. It was proof that even against all odds, it's possible to stand out in a field dominated by veterans. For anyone aspiring to succeed, whether in racing or any other area, Lando Norris serves as a living example that age is just a number. What truly matters is how willing you are to dedicate yourself to your dream and, like a passionate gearhead, always find the next adventure. Founder of Quadrant. Lando Norris didn't limit himself to the racetracks. In a bold and visionary move, he decided to expand his horizons and dive into the world of esports by founding his own team, Quadrant. For a gearhead who loves speed and adrenaline, it's fascinating to see someone bring that passion to the digital realm. Lando realized that virtual racing could offer the same thrill as real tracks, but with even greater reach, connecting millions of fans around the world. This decision showed that he not only understands the value of innovation but also how diversifying one's passions can create new opportunities. What's impressive about the creation of Quadrant is how Norris combined his racing experience with his enthusiasm for the digital world. He took advantage of the growing interest in esports and brought a new perspective by combining the thrill of racing with the connectivity of digital platforms. It's a lesson for all of us. Never limit your interest to one area. Even if you're a gearhead at heart, there's always room to explore new paths. Diving into different passions can open unexpected doors and offer unique ways to stand out. Moreover, Quadrant is not just a hobby for Norris. It's a business he takes very seriously. He invested time, energy, and resources to ensure his team was competitive and relevant. This demonstrates an important trait for any aspiring success. Commitment. When you find something you love like a true gearhead, it's worth putting your best effort into making it a success. The founding of Quadrant is yet another example of how Lando Norris continues to challenge the status quo, always seeking the next big adventure. Luxury car collector. Like any true gearhead, Lando Norris isn't just content with driving fast cars on the track. He also brings his passion for automobiles into his personal life, building an impressive collection of luxury cars. Imagine walking into Norris's garage and seeing a row of Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and other models that make any car lover's heart race. For him, these vehicles are more than just machines. They are works of art, each with its own personality and story. Having such a collection is like maintaining a private art gallery where each piece tells a story of power and elegance. But Lando's collection goes beyond simply owning expensive cars. It reflects his deep passion and knowledge of the automotive world. He doesn't choose his cars just for their value or the status they bring. Each vehicle in his collection is chosen with a purpose, whether for its innovative engineering, unique design, or historical significance in the racing world. For those who share this passion, it's a reminder that collecting something is more than accumulating. It's about the pleasure of finding and appreciating every detail, every curve, every engine sound. Furthermore, Norris's collection reflects his competitive spirit and love for speed. Every car is an extension of his personality, a way to express his identity as a driver and enthusiast. For anyone who considers themselves a gearhead, the lesson is clear: find what you love and dive deep into it. It doesn't matter if it's collecting cars, bikes, or even miniature car models. What matters is the enthusiasm and dedication you put into your passions. And who knows? Maybe, like Lando, your collection will one day become legendary. Wealthy background. Lando Norris was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, which undoubtedly gave him an advantage early in his career. Unlike many aspiring drivers who have to balance dreams with financial limitations, Lando had the freedom to focus solely on what he loved most: racing. But here's the interesting point for any gearhead. It's not just about the money. Yes, financial security helped, but what truly propelled Lando was his talent and dedication. For many, a wealthy background might be seen as an excuse, but in Norris's case, it was a springboard to demonstrate that regardless of one's background, what truly matters is what you do with the opportunities you have. This financial advantage allowed Lando to start in the best conditions, with access to the best karts, coaches, and teams. But instead of becoming complacent, he used these resources to continually improve himself. It's a valuable lesson. When you have resources, the biggest mistake one can make is not using them to their fullest. Lando invested in himself, in his training, and in his career. For anyone who identifies as a gearhead, this is a clear example that if you have the means, invest in your passion. But remember, it's effort and persistence that truly make the difference. However, it's important to note that wealth does not define one's character or ability. Despite his privileged circumstances, Norris never hid behind his background. He worked hard to earn respect on the tracks and to prove he deserved to be there, competing with the best. And for any of us, the real lesson is: it doesn't matter where you come from or what you have. What truly matters is what you do with it. And for those who dream big, as every gearhead should, the opportunities are there, just grab them and race towards the future. Admiration for Valentino Rossi. Lando Norris has always had a clear source of inspiration in his career: Valentino Rossi. For any true gearhead, this makes total sense. Rossi, with his charisma and skill, not only dominated the world of motorcycle racing but also won fans across various other disciplines. For Lando, Rossi represented the ideal driver: bold, technical, and always with a touch of fun. The admiration for Valentino deeply influenced his driving style and how he approaches motorsport. Just like many of us look up to our idols and try to mirror their best qualities, Norris found in Rossi a compass that guided his path on the tracks. This influence from Rossi wasn't limited just to driving style but also to Lando's mental approach. Rossi was always known for his positive mindset and ability to reinvent himself in every race. Lando adopted the same philosophy, always seeking to improve, learn, and adapt, regardless of the circumstances. It's a powerful lesson for all of us. Choosing a mentor or idol who inspires not just skills but also a resilient mindset can be the key to success. For any gearhead, the message is clear: find someone who inspires you and use that inspiration as fuel for your own journey. Moreover, Norris's admiration for Rossi also highlights the importance of having role models who go beyond technique. Rossi was famous for his sportsmanship and for always maintaining his love for what he did, even after decades in the sport. Lando adopted this same passion for motorsport, ensuring that despite the ups and downs, he never lost the joy of competing. For those looking to stand out, whether on the tracks or in any other field, Norris's lesson is clear: finding joy in what you do is as important as the skill you possess. And who knows, inspired by your own idols, you too can create your unique path like a true gearhead. Dropped out of high school. Lando Norris made a bold decision that surprised many. He dropped out of high school to focus entirely on his racing career. For some, this may seem like a risky choice, but for a true gearhead like Norris, the passion for racing was clear and non-negotiable. He understood early on that his true classroom was the racetrack, where every curve and every lap offered lessons that no school could teach. The courage to follow a less conventional path is something many of us can learn from. When you feel you've found your true calling, it's essential to follow your instinct and invest in what truly matters to you. This choice also reflects the reality of many who pursue their passions at the expense of more traditional paths. Norris decided that the practical experience on the tracks was more valuable to him than the classes at school. And to be fair, he was right. In a world where we are often pressured to follow a linear path of education, Norris shows us that there isn't just one path to success. For any gearhead with a burning passion, it might be more beneficial to follow a path that aligns more closely with your interests and talents. Of course, this isn't an invitation to drop out of school, but a reminder that there are many paths to achieving success. And although this decision was controversial, it was essential for Norris to dedicate all his time and energy to what he truly loved. This brings us to a fundamental point: the importance of being willing to make sacrifices to pursue your dreams. If you really want something, like a true gearhead wants to be behind the wheel, sometimes you need to make tough decisions that may not make sense to others but are crucial for your own growth and happiness. And as Lando has proven, these decisions can be very worthwhile in the long run. Public relationships. Lando Norris, besides being a talented driver, has also had his moments in the spotlight off the tracks, especially when it comes to his personal life. He had a very public relationship with Portuguese model Luísa Oliveira, which attracted a lot of attention from the media and fans. For a gearhead focused on his passion for racing, this kind of exposure can be a challenge. Lando's personal life, like that of any public figure, was intensely scrutinized, showing that no matter how hard you try, it's sometimes impossible to keep all areas of your life away from the cameras and headlines. The breakup before the Dutch Grand Prix in 2021 highlighted how personal life can impact an athlete's career. Imagine being in the middle of an intense season, competing against the best in the world, and still having to deal with personal emotional issues. For Lando, this was a true test of resilience and focus. As a dedicated gearhead, he had to separate his personal life from his passion for racing, showing all of us the importance of managing emotions in critical moments. It's a reminder that even when facing personal challenges, it's crucial to stay focused and keep pursuing your goals. Furthermore, the relationship and subsequent breakup of Norris and Luísa Oliveira serve as a reminder that life is full of ups and downs, both on and off the tracks. Even for those who seem to have everything under control, like a Formula One driver, there are challenges that need to be faced with grace and maturity. And for any of us, especially those who consider themselves gearheads, the lesson here is clear: life will test you on various fronts. The secret is to keep accelerating, even when the terrain gets tougher. Sometimes it's in adversity that we find the strength to become even better. Turned down offers from Red Bull and Mercedes. Lando Norris made a decision that caught many by surprise in the world of Formula One. He turned down tempting offers from giants like Red Bull and Mercedes. For many, this could seem like a missed opportunity, but for a true gearhead like Norris, this choice was more about loyalty and trust. He believed in McLaren's project, the team that helped him grow as a driver, and the people who had always been by his side. This decision showed that for him, it wasn't just about joining the strongest team but about building something lasting and meaningful with those who always believed in his potential. This loyalty to McLaren is rare in a sport where switching teams is common in search of better contracts and more competitive cars. However, Lando saw value in staying and helping the team return to its glory days. He wanted to be part of McLaren's rebuilding story, which requires courage that few possess. For any gearhead, this is a lesson about the power of loyalty and commitment to something bigger than yourself. Sometimes staying and fighting alongside those who have been with you from the start can bring rewards that no switch could offer. Moreover, this decision to turn down offers from major teams like Red Bull and Mercedes wasn't just about loyalty, it was also about believing in his own path. Lando chose to trust in his skills and the vision he and McLaren shared for the future. It's a powerful lesson for any of us. Believe in yourself and your decisions, even when the temptation to follow the seemingly easier path is strong. Like a true gearhead, Norris showed that it's important to believe in your journey, even if it means giving up something that seems irresistible. Grew up with the best. From an early age, Lando Norris had the privilege of growing up surrounded by the great names of Formula One. Competing and learning alongside legends like Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso is not an opportunity many get. This proximity to the best in the world was a true gift for Lando, who absorbed every piece of advice and technique like a true gearhead would. Being surrounded by the best allows you to elevate your own level of play, and that's exactly what Norris did. He took every moment to learn and develop, always keeping his eyes on his own goal of becoming one of the greats. Being around such experienced drivers also gave Norris a unique perspective on what it takes to be a champion. He saw firsthand the hard work, dedication, and sacrifice these drivers put into their careers. It's not just about talent, it's about being willing to go further, always striving for a bit more. And that's exactly what he did. For any gearhead, the lesson here is clear: always seek to learn from the best. Be close to those who inspire you, absorb their lessons, and use that as fuel for your own journey. Competing against big names like Hamilton and Alonso from a young age also gave Norris an unwavering confidence in his abilities. He knew that to be on the same level as these giants, he had to work even harder and be even more dedicated. And as any gearhead knows, the real competition is with yourself. It's about surpassing your own limits and becoming better than you were yesterday. Growing up with the best gave Norris the mentality of a true champion, and that's what keeps him competitive in every race, always striving to be the best. Now that you know these 10 amazing facts about Lando Norris, it's time to apply this knowledge to your own life. What can you learn from Lando's tireless dedication since childhood? Or from his courage to follow his own path, turning down offers that any other driver would have accepted without a second thought? Think about it. What are the opportunities you have now that could change your trajectory forever? Lando shows us that with passion, determination, and a little boldness, we can achieve our dreams, no matter how impossible they may seem. So how about starting right now to speed towards your goals? Leave your comments below. I want to know what you found most inspiring about Norris's journey. And don't forget, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to keep learning more about the great names in motorsport and get inspired by these amazing stories.